All the teams said no.
Paco was right. Nobody wants to take the risk on undocumented players. But there is a regional tryout we can sign them up for. There'll be major teams there and scouts from European teams.
I can't try out like this. But Yanni can do it.
European teams means international stage. Everybody will see you. I guess this is it. But if we want the prize, we're going to have to take the risk.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. You know how they dream once too. But it wasn't meant to be. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you have a fair chance at your dream.
My name is Uche Agata. I play Giannis Antetokounmpo in the film Rise. I play someone who discovers basketball for the first time with his older brother, and isn't very good at first, but eventually works on his craft, gets there, and then has a potential to get to the NBA and the opportunity to do so.
I'm Raul Agata. I play Thanasis Antetokounmpo. And Thanasis is a character who's a loving big brother who wants to do right by his family. And I'm playing him at a time where Giannis has not really found his footing yet. And this is a time when Thanasis is still the best player in the family, at least in the beginning. So, like, he's just like everybody's favorite big brother, man.
The
Like,
plot of Rise follows the story of Charles and Veronica as they journey from Nigeria to Athens in search of a better life. And we watch them navigate this particular aspect of their life. And as they raise their children, we live through the challenges with them and their struggles and how they ultimately overcome as a family that adversity.
Well, I play Charles Antetokounmpo. He's the father of Giannis and Alex and Costas and Thanasis and Francis Adetokounmpo, and he's married to Yetide Adetokounmpo.
Veronica.
Veronica, I was almost there. I almost made
got
it. Married to Veronica Adetokounmpo. And, he's the father of this family, and, he's the partner to Yetide, and they are this dynamic duo that raise some incredibly exceptional individuals. And, he's of Nigerian descent, found himself in Greece on the streets, and had to provide for his family and had to instill in his family that with hard work, perseverance, and faith, anything you want in life can be achieved. And you don't do it on your own; you do it with your family. Your family is the wind beneath your sails. So that's who I play, Charles Antetokounmpo.
And I play Veronica Adetokounmpo, who I like to call the Queen of Kings, and the Mother of Kings. And she is also Nigerian, makes that treacherous journey along with Charles to search for a better life for herself and her family. And she has this unwavering faith in the dream of a better life for this family, something that she leans wholeheartedly into. While she is struggling to help the family survive in any which way that she can. And she is a large part of maintaining that faith with this wonderful family, kings and queen.
That's right.
When Raul and I met Giannis and Thanasis for the first time, it was definitely we had a very good conversation. They had very nice things to say. They were very proud of the work that they saw, and that meant a lot to us.
4, 3, 2. It's okay. We'll go again. Chin up, huh? That's why we fought. We fought to get back up. It's okay. It's okay. Shake it off. Come back. It's not where you start. It's where you finish.
The experience filming a movie for the first time was definitely interesting. You learned a lot about movies that you would have never known if you didn't shoot one. I definitely had an incredible time, and like Rouse said, working with each other definitely played a big part in being comfortable in front of the camera as well.
I think, well, probably the dialect. I think that was by far the hardest part to learn because it's something totally different that you don't really hear a lot, at least where we're from. Like a Greek accent. I mean, it's more of an Afro-Greek accent, but it was something extremely foreign to me. But with a lot of repetition, I figured it out, and so did you.
Honestly, I'd have to say the same thing. The most difficult part about playing the character was just the accent and really working with it and trying to make it sound, real and authentic.
Well, physically, the biggest challenge I had in playing Charles was a scene we had in the rain when I'm teaching Ral and Uche, Giannis and Thanasis how to play basketball. It was without a doubt the coldest day on earth ever recorded in Athens. And the water the fake rain they had fallen on us was also like extremely cold. I still have PTSD about it till today. But yeah, that was a very physically tough scene to film. I feel like I was dying of hypothermia. But in terms of challenging with playing Charles more emotionally, just having to relive some of those things, there's a lot of fear, in those scenes, the fear of losing your family, the fear of not living up to your potential as a man or as a father or as a husband. Men pride themselves on being able to provide for their families, and so the moment there's a chink in that, there's also a chink in your armor, and going to vulnerable places like that can be quite tough. Honestly, it can be quite tough. It definitely gives you weird nightmares. You don't really want to be in that headspace too long. I don't. So I'll say those two are as challenging as it got.
So it's very much a fire and ice thing.
Yeah.
Because that for me, the most challenging physically was a hot day.
The heat.
In Athens.
The heat.
Very, very hot day. And actually, it was the scene that we were running from the cops. And I'm not sure if you knew this, but there was a point where we're running, and I have the I'm carrying Costas, and and I fell. But what I was told was people said, "Wait, are you sure you're not a mother?" Because apparently the fall that I did was immediately there was that point where you make a decision: I can protect my body or protect this child, and there was not a moment. And so physically, they tried to do Elmer's glue and all of that, but trying to make sure that was hidden after was a little more difficult. And so it was a hot day in Athens. But on the emotional side, I would definitely say it's the scene where Veronica talks about having to leave Francis. And trying to make that choice and that decision and the ramifications of that, and wondering if they did the right thing in working towards that dream for the entire family, in having to take this very painful decision. And it, as you do in film, you do it over and over, and you do it from each side, and you get your coverage. And like you said, that headspace, that can be difficult to exist within. So I would say those were the two most difficult moments for me.
The idea of this young man who only a few years ago had picked up the basketball, who was selling DVDs and CDs and trinkets on the street, to now to be at the pinnacle of his NBA career was just so fascinating and moving to me that I just fell in love with the story and sort of.
And learning about their time in Greece, that journey that they had to make, that perilous journey to search for a better life and to follow their dreams. So making Rise has been a large part of learning even more about this incredible family story.
The brothers in the movie, they always have each other's backs, and it's the same way with us. That's how we were raised.
He has put in a lot of effort, huh? So what do you want for them?
I want them to be the best they can be. Anas could play in the A-League. Teams are asking about him already. The national team, maybe.
National team.
Yeah, why not? Who knows where he can end up? And Giannis, he's getting better.
Takis, I know how this game is played. Football, basketball, it's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go pro, you start young and you hope the gods are smiling down on you. And they don't often smile. And if they do, our family will be exposed.
Way to go, Giannis!